shoulders and potentially weighing as much as 75 kilos, it's the world's largest rodent. These capybara pups were born 2 to 3 weeks ago, and they all seem to be pleased with each other's company.
The capybara pups get along quite well with each other. They will stay with each other mostly to feel quite safe and also to stay warm.
As babies, the pups were able to walk shortly after they were born, and it didn't take long for them to be chips off the old block.
So when the pups are born, they resemble adult capybaras pretty much identically. They are obviously much smaller. They weigh about 1 kilo, but they do come out fully furred and quite independent.
When they reach 3 months, they will be fully weaned. If they were in the wild, by the end of their first year, the males would leave their family group. But for now, like human siblings, the pups also enjoy a fair share of horsing around. Their mom, Sophia, is always on the lookout, making sure their mischief isn't interrupted by some nasty predator.
Although the pups are quite independent when they're born, the females are very caring and very protective of the young. If there is a danger, the females will defend the pups.
Sophia also makes sure to keep her babies well fed. But if she's not available, the pups have other options.
In a family group of capybaras, adult females will take on a co-parenting role, and that means they'll share raising and protecting and also feeding the young.
That means conveniently tapping into their favorite aunt or cousin for a little mid-morning milk break. Their father, Piera, isn't too big on all this family stuff.
The males don't have a lot to do with interacting other than socially. The females, on the other hand, will usually stay quite close to the pups. They'll feed the pups, keep them warm, and also guide them to food and water and teach them the skills that they're going to need when they're adults.
The number one skill to learn is water sports.
In the wild, capybaras live around water bodies, so one of the main things that they've learned here is how to swim. It's a very important skill for them to have in the wild.
What makes the pups natural-born swimmers is their semi-webbed feet. When they grow up, they will be able to stay underwater for as much as 5 minutes at a time. All the better to hide from predators. Like the hippo, this little guy's eyes, ears, and nostrils are located near the top of its head, which means it can hide underwater while keeping a close watch on what's happening above water. Another lesson they need to learn: healthy eating.
Identifying the different types of plants that are safe for them to eat. They feed on a range of plant species as well as fruit and vegetables.
The babies are learning how capybaras need to chew their food from side to side, like a camel. The ideal way to eat tough plant materials like grasses and aquatic plants. When this male pup becomes sexually mature, he will most likely leave the comfort of his family for greener pastures.
The capybaras live in quite large groups. As they get older, the dynamics of those groups will change. As they do reach sexual maturity, males are more likely to disperse and form their own groups as they can become quite aggressive, and females will more likely stay within their groups and continue to reproduce.
But for now, these pups live and learn together. Webbed feet and all, with the help of their parents, step-parents, and silly siblings, these pups will be healthy adult capybaras in no time. They live mostly in the tropical rainforests of South America. From head to tail, they top out at 38 centimeters. They only weigh about half a kilogram. They are emperor tamarins. Adult tamarins might be tiny, but as far as baby primates go, this guy is huge. At 7 weeks, he's already reached nearly a quarter of his mom's weight, which proportionately makes him the second largest infant among all primates. And his parents couldn't be happier.
The baby was born on March 31st to first-time parents, Laura and Roger. It was really exciting for us because Laura had never had a baby before.
And in the world of tamarins, this guy's doubly special.
Tamarins usually have twins, and in this case it's just a singleton. That does happen from time to time, but it's not that common.
Roger is also a first-time parent, but he did have the experience of helping to raise his own brother, so he was able to give Laura a few choice pointers.
Roger stepped in, showed her what to do. Roger was able to take the baby off his back, push it onto Laura to make sure she knew how to nurse, because a lot of times the first-time mothers don't really know what to do or how to nurse their babies.
Each Tamarin group usually has only one breeding female, like Laura, who is polyandrous. This means that she mates with several males in the group, not only with one, like Roger. That means she has multiple daddies to help her raise her kids. And in Tamarin families, daddies are big players.
The males do most of the caregiving, so baby stays on dad for most of the time, and he only goes to mom for nursing. He nurses on mom several times a day.
In the wild, Laura and Roger would be teaching their baby the same things he is learning here in captivity.
Watching out for any predators in the form of anything that might scare them. They are showing their baby what food is and how to eat.
Although this guy will eventually become a great bug catcher, he will also learn to find and eat fruit, flowers, frogs, snails, lizards, and even baby birds. Quite the balanced diet. But not so fast. Before this little guy blossoms to be an adult Tamarin, he has some growing up to do. He has to grow in his mustache.
When they're first born, they have just this little tiny bit of white hair that you can see is going to grow into their mustache, and it's just tiny. And then within the first couple of weeks, you can see the hair is coming in, and even right now, it's starting to get this nice little mustache that's really adorable.
And right below that fancy mustache is their super active tongue.
Emperor tamarins have a lot of different ways to communicate. One of the things they use is their tongue. They do tongue flick at each other, and it can